All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of What Drives You. My name is Stan Windhorn, and with me, as always, is my good buddy Carl Bauer. Carl, this one is going to be kind of fun because we're going to continue with our series of YouTube channels and the people who run them that you follow and like. But What Drives You started off as sort of a car-based thing. It's grown into much more than that, but this one's all about cars, so you got to be excited.
Yeah, yeah, this is a good one. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on another episode of What Drives You. So, Derek Barry, I think it's Barry, it's Bieri, Barry, Bieri. I don't know how we say it. We'll
Derek
get him
Barry.
on. Derek, when you come on, you could tell us how we say your name. But anywho, Vice Grip Garage. And Stan, has been on a couple little stats 2.34 million subscribers, top video over 13 million views.
That's amazing.
And what I love about Derek is he's funny as crap. If you guys check out his channel, Vice Grip Garage, he has the most dry, sarcastic humor of almost anybody I've encountered on YouTube. He is hilarious, number one. Number two is he's MacGyver, Stan. He's literally MacGyver when it comes to he finds these cars in cornfields, in garages, in basements, in barns, and then he's got to drive them to his home pub garage in Tennessee. He's just outside of Nashville, Tennessee. And so a lot of times it's this car hasn't run in 30 years. It's got to drive home 1,200 miles. And it's that whole story of how he revives it and then literally drives these piece of junks home, sometimes with no heat, sometimes with no lights. Sometimes it's just, he's
But
amazing.
he never shows you the final product, right? It's not what he does with it once he gets there. The whole drift of the show is taking this car that hasn't run for a while and get it back to the house or the
Yeah.
garage.
Well, yeah, it's twofold. It's that and getting it running so that it can make it, right? Half the time,
No,
Stan, he's got a plastic gas can that he's strapped to the hood or the roof or the trunk or the bed because he's scared to put gas in the tank to mess up the engine. So he looks like a complete hillbilly driving down the road, trying to
that's
get home.
cool. That's a great idea. There's a lot of restoration shows out there, but that's a good idea. I can see why he's popular, and I think you brought this up earlier. He's got this kind of quirky sense of humor, and uh, it's it's fun. In fact, when I first time I watched him, I'm like, all right, is he just talking like car lingo that I'm not quite familiar with? And I think you pointed it out that no, he's just making it up as he goes, the words that he
He's
uses.
he's a definite comedian, comic. He's actually a master linguist because he just thinks of new things to call a spark plug and a
Right.
spark plug wire and a piston and gas and all that stuff. He
Well,
also
Mr. Oh, go ahead.
he
So sorry.
also includes, which again is kind of a nice thing. I've seen a couple channels do this, stand to some degree of success and some not. He includes his children in, so sometimes he has his young boys helping him out, like, "Hey, Junior, crank this wrench or do this," right? So they're diving in there with him, and a lot of times his wife helps too when it's like a two-person job, like holding up a gas tank or a shock absorber. So yeah, they involve the whole family. And again, one of these guys that came from doing it in his driveway with a single camera, crappy sound, and rough, filming to literally buying a farm, some property, building a pole barn, and now having a full, like, he goes and speaks at um, big car shows and big events, and he's building a museum in the little town next to him, so you can come actually meet Derek and hang out and see some of his project cars. He's really, and you can tell he loves figuring out how to get these cars running and saving them, restoring them from the graveyard.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool. But again, they don't show it after he restores it. Just the whole show is getting it home.
Yeah, there he does have. That's mostly true. He does have some stand where he gets them home, parks them for a little bit. He's like, "Now remember this car," and then he'll do a flashback, and then he'll say,
Oh,
"Now we're going to upgrade this to a 4-wheel drive or to power steering." Or He does kind of circle back on some of them.
Okay.
But for the most part, yeah, to your point, it's just save it,
Yeah,
get it
I'm all
home.
right with that. There's a million restoration car shows, and I like a lot of them. It's cool to see the finished product like that. So Derek Barry.
Derek
I love
Barry.
Vice Grip Garage. It's a great name for a YouTube channel.
He's also very good, Stan. He's been on Haggerty's show. He may have been on Discovery, some actual popular cable channels because he's such a character. He's got a great logo and some great swag going. So he does a good business of selling merchandise as well. But he's also one of these guys that will show up to 100-person car show or 100,000 per. He's not
Right.
picky, and he knows he's just very grateful to have people like us watching his channel, the Vice Grip Garage.
Well, you just heard a glowing report, Mr. Derek Barry, from Carl Bauer. I think the least you could do is come on our show. Let us talk to you for a little bit. I think our listeners would love to see you, and I know Carl and I would enjoy interviewing you.
Yeah, well, and I can imagine, Stan, we talk a lot about, you know, educating, entertaining, and encouraging people. His would definitely be an entertainment and education because he's really, really smart with cars and mechanics, and he does a really good job of walking through the steps of it. Um, but the other thing that he does is, as far as the content goes, he's grown his channel so much, and he's really now polished. And you can see kind of the evolution if you look back to his first episodes where he was like all of us, younger, skinnier, and just a little bit tongue tied. He's so polished now. I mean, he could stand in front of anybody and really wow a crowd from just almost like a TED talk type of
Yeah,
type of skill. So
very cool.
yeah,
Well, anything you want to wrap up on Mr. Derek Barry? I even like that name, Derek Barry.
Derek Barry.
Vice
No,
Grip
I think
Garage.
what next time I do a road trip down your way to Austin from Chicago, I think I'm gonna do a little detour and figure out where he's at, check out his little museum and see if we can connect with him and have him on a little
Very cool.
collaboration, Stan, a little collab with the Vice Grip Garage and Derek.
I like it. All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us on this edition of What Drives You. Be good humans.
Yes. See you, Stan.
See you, bud.